recently posted a video sharing my personal pet peeves as a ballroom dance teacher that I've had with students over the years. And I asked you guys in the comments on that video if you could share your own pet peeves you've had over the years with your coaches, or if you're a pro, with your students. And I'm going to share some of those today, those responses. Plus, if you missed that video, I'll post a link in the description below. I'm not going to share names just because I don't want to put anyone out there on the World Wide Web and out them, but great comments. Could not agree more with every single opinion you guys shared. Okay, so number one, my pet peeves about dance teachers: frequently late or running behind, mentioning their other students' progress, especially the ones I don't even know well, not keeping track of my level and what we've worked on, to the point where we end up going over the same thing in the syllabus 4 lessons in a row, giving me a last-minute substitute teacher who's not familiar with my level or me, without asking if I'd like to reschedule with them, pushing hard for my participation in a competition or an event on a very short notice, say less than a month. All sorts of yes. And I have seen these things in studios, and drives me batty. Of course. And you know what, guys, although I'm a professional dancer, I've been in this industry 40 years, like everyone else, I started out as a very long time amateur competitor, working my way up the ranks. I have taken a ton of coaching, and I've personally experienced many of these same problems. When they're late, that is incredibly disrespectful to your time as a student. Okay. I can't even wrap my head around it. You are a customer, so you're not doing a favor for them showing up, and you can just wait when I feel like finishing and starting. Or for example, as a teacher, I would never, reality check, sleep in. I see people roll in every single day they teach. Oh, there was traffic. Oh, my cat ran away. Oh, no, stop making excuses. Everyone has an occasional emergency, but if you are perpetually running behind or perpetually late first thing in the morning, you are just disrespecting your students. Straight up, you do not appreciate them. I've left a dentist for this very reason, and I would suggest you leave too. I've never personally had someone give a substitute, though I have had someone recommend a teacher who was horrible. That happened to me twice ever, but it just caused me a great deal of respect for that primary pro. And in one case, I did actually never see them again because I was just so insulted by giving me a lesson with someone that wasn't even my own skill level. You know, I don't have money to burn or time. Next comment: the pros that yell at or criticize their students. I want to step in and say something every time I see it. Me too. And I have seen this. Drives me absolutely batty. Though this has not personally happened to me, where I've taken offense, or someone's, screaming in my face the entire time, being derogatory, being condescending. I have seen it, guys, and I hate it. I feel like I am standing in the room of an abusive relationship where someone is, berating and putting their spouse down to curry this insecurity in that person, where they think, well, I can't do any better than this nasty spouse. And you know what, guys, related to this, the only time I have seen pros, and I'm talking about a pro just having one, excitedly, day where they're yelling, but I mean, every time they see that student, talking to them nasty and putting them down. I've only seen it when the student has outgrown the teacher's skill level, the teacher's ability to teach them. And yes, I have seen students who are actually better than their pro. They don't even realize it because that's pros too busy screaming at them, putting them down the whole time, not even bothering to tell them what they're doing well. And I can't even tell you how much this rubs me the wrong way. I can't even use words strong enough, okay? I'm not sure what the foundation is. Is it just greed? Like they recognize, okay, I don't know how to teach them anymore, but I got to put them down so they will think that they need information from me and that I know what I'm talking about. Is it just arrogance? Do they not realize that that student is now way outgrown them as a coach? Because I do see, honestly, occasionally some professionals with a very overinflated sense of self. And I have no clue. But it's all sorts of ugly, guys, I'll tell you that. And frankly, my advice to you, if you have a pro screaming at you or putting you down, or maybe they yell excitedly, but at least they should be counterbalancing that, yelling just as excitedly for your wins. Because I hear, if you are leaving every lesson sucking, it's that pro's fault. And I doubt that's happening unless you have someone that you've outgrown, which I do occasionally see, okay? Okay, next up, I'm going to share some of my own experiences I've had that are real pet peeves for me when I take with coaches. Okay, number one, hate this. It's only happened to me twice, but when I am not understanding a concept that teacher's trying to convey in that private lesson, and I don't get it after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm starting to get very upset. I'm frustrated, not with the teacher, but with myself, with my stupidity, and then the adrenaline and the fear start catching it. And then even if I were ready to receive the information, my hormones are jacked up. I am so upset. I'm fighting back tears. And yeah, guys, that's happened to me a couple times. In fact, I've had to leave and go in the restroom stall to shamefully, because I don't want them to see me cry and then come back out. I'm sure they know my eyes are all red. Like, you know what? If I'm not getting it, move on. There's probably 20 other things we could look at that day that I will successfully master. So you know what? I wish they would have given me a little mental health break. Let us move on to something else, and we can hit this tough one that I'm not getting today on a different day when I come in fresh. This seems to me to be very arrogant and selfish on the part of the pro. Like, well, I can get this. You know what? Not every day is a win, okay? Even Michael Jordan occasionally misses a basket. It happens. Doesn't mean you suck as a pro. Doesn't mean you suck as a student. There are times, if someone's not getting it after a certain number of minutes, hey, scrap it that day, move on. They will spend 1/10 the time learning that figure than if you just keep shoving. Can't put a square peg in a round hole, friends. Okay, next pet peeve for me personally, and it's the opposite of this. It's only happened a couple times, but when that pro, and this has only happened with visiting coaches, by the way, never a primary, kisses my keister the whole time. So I show them my dancing. Oh, that looks good. Oh, you have potential. Oh, you're doing that well. You know what? I'm not paying you to kiss my booty and be my buddy. I'm paying you to improve. I cannot improve unless I get constructive criticism from my professional, okay? If I looked good, I wouldn't be taking more lessons. And you know what? Telling me I look good. I'm a trained dancer. I know I look good. I want to look amazing, and I need help to do that. I need that coach's help. And so I just feel like I might as well burn my money in a bonfire, and I'd rather take a 45-minute, break at Starbucks than have someone just sit and talk at me and oh yeah, yeah, you look good doing that. Let me see something else. Pfft. Pet peeve. Okay. Next up, I personally have never minded if pros yell at me, and frankly, I have been yelled at. And I do feel as a pro dancer, you need a thick skin. So I do feel professional dancers have a little bit of a higher threshold for, I don't want to say verbal abuse, okay? But I'm just saying raising their voice at you, certainly never calling a name or something, but, yelling in dissatisfaction, displeasure, what they're seeing me do. That doesn't bother me at all. But in my opinion, if you're an amateur dancer, if you are a pro-am dancer, I don't even care if it's competitive, social, don't care. It is not appropriate ever to be screaming negatively and just bad, you're horrible, you're not getting it, whatever, and in that poor student's face. And so, again, everyone has an off day, but if they're doing that to you regularly, for Pete's sake, please switch. It's in your best interest. Dancing is a joyful activity, not an abusive, hurtful relationship. And that's going to hold back your dancing, friends, if you can't learn because you're all emotionally jacked up, being put down and insulted, okay? And frankly, if you do suck, it's that pro's fault. So remember that, friends. It's not you. Okay, next thing that really bugs me is when I have experienced favoritism. It's only happened a couple times, but that means I see my coach treating someone else better than they treat me, giving them preferential treatment. Maybe that person's paying less than I am for their lessons. Maybe that person is given priority booking. For example, several times at comps, I've asked for coaching. Oh, well, we don't teach there. Show up to the comp, and I'm not blind. I go to the comp floor, practice, warm up, and I see them coaching someone else and being willing to teach. You know what? At least if you're going to treat your students unfairly, unequally, be transparent about it. Don't be lying about it to boot. That just adds insult to injury, okay? It's not fair. And I've seen it happen to other people too. I'm just sharing when it's happened to me, it has been extraordinarily upsetting. And I have seen a very accomplished couple that eventually turned pro. In fact, one of them you've seen on Dancing with the Stars. I'm not sharing names here. They left one of the top primary coaches in the world to go with someone who was a lot less accomplished, who did not have that successful record of creating champions, due to them repeatedly seeing that coach treat other couples better, meaning giving them preferential treatment, okay? Happens to everyone at all skill levels, guys. It does happen, but it's a pet peeve. And if you see that happening, at a minimum, I would say something to your coach. It's microscopically possible they don't realize they're doing it, although I suspect they do. But if you express, this does not seem fair to me, I dislike it. I know that confrontation is uncomfortable, but that two-way communication, might just nip it in the bud. I wouldn't put up with being treated like a second-class citizen for how much money I drop on lessons, okay? Okay, my final pet peeve, and it has happened to me, is a perpetually late teacher. So this is similar to a comment. Okay, so if I am not retired as a student, and most people actually do something other than ballroom dance, even if it's just cooking meals or grocery shopping, if you're late, it means I am not doing something else I planned on doing during that time, okay? And what I say is, you know what, don't make your lack of planning my emergency. Now I'm late to go pick up my kid from school. I have an old-fashioned husband. Now I can't get home to have dinner on the table at 5. It is extraordinarily disrespectful to your time as a student and my time, as a student as well, taking lessons, when the pro is late. Again, everyone has a bad day, something went wrong that morning. But if they're coming in every single time with an excuse, it's just an excuse. What they're actually saying is, I value my time more than yours. And you are the customer. The student is the customer, not the professional. You're paying them to be a professional. Part of being a professional is being punctual. I prefer to arrive at least 15 minutes before every lesson. So when they come in, the lights are on, my shoes are on, their music's playing. I've thought about their lesson plan. This is a no-brainer, friends. I can't even fathom how people do this. Most don't, but I have seen it, and hey, major pet peeve for me, I dislike. So, hey, if you didn't comment in that last video, please comment below with your own pet peeves you've had, either with your own coaches or with other teachers you have seen in your own studio. Because we are a worldwide community of ballroom dancers here. We share the same joys, the same goals, the same hurdles. And also, if you can, give us a shout out when you comment as to where you are in the world. I'm personally broadcasting from the United States, but you know what? The ballroom dance culture, I mean, there are so many similarities we have, but I always enjoy hearing your unique experiences, even within the United States, because it is a massive country and there's a very big difference between life in where I live, Oregon versus California versus New York versus Minnesota, you know, and I'm very interested to read your experiences, and they're also helpful for all of our other channel members here too, because again, we are a community. It's not just me, although I'm happy to share my experiences with 40 plus years in this industry. So, hey, if there's something else you want to hear about, ask the question in the comments. Makes my job so easy. I share ballroom dance content each day, but I'm kind of throwing darts in the dark here as to what do I think people might find to be helpful or at least entertaining. And if you like that topic today, please hit the thumbs up button. I get so excited when I see that little ding. And if you want a little heads up onto what I'm posting each morning, I usually post like 7 a.m. in my time zone. I'm Pacific Standard Time. There's a little bell, I guess you can hit. I'm not an influencer. I don't know how this stuff works, but I guess if you hit this bell picture, it won't show up automatically on your news feed ever, but you'll get like a little window at the bottom of your phone when I post that says, okay, Sunday's topic today is how to get to the championship level or whatever that day's topic is. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me today. I loved all of your comments. I could not agree more. And if you missed that original video I shared about some pet peeves I've had as a teacher, hey, make sure to click on the link in the description, friends. Okay, I look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow with more things ballroom dance. Bye, guys. Have a great day.